So our today's topic is converting the given regular expression to finite automata. So here finite automata in the sense, so more specifically you can consider like you can have a DFA or NFA, or you can have a NFA epsilon also. But the method which we are going to cover right now or discuss right now, so this method says that now we are going to convert our given regular expression. We are going to convert our given regular expression into NFA epsilon. So what is the reason why we are converting the regular expression into NFA epsilon in the sense? So if you have a NFA epsilon, that NFA epsilon can be easily converted into a corresponding NFA. From the NFA, you can convert it into a DFA. Or if you are having a NFA epsilon in the sense, from the NFA epsilon itself, so directly you can construct the DFA also. Okay, so that is the reason why. So we are converting our given regular expression into NFA epsilon. Now, if you want to convert a given regular expression to the corresponding finite automata in the sense, so we need to remember few things over here. So what are the things we need to remember is, so please pay attention over here. So until unless we know about it, so we are not able to construct the finite automata. Okay, so blindly we have to follow few things over here. I will write all those things over here, just you follow. Okay, so very long back when I am discussing about the regular expressions, I discussed that so phi is a regular expression. You know that phi symbol, right? So we have phi is the regular expression. Okay, we have phi is a regular expression. And then number 2, we have epsilon. Epsilon is also the regular expression. Epsilon is also a regular expression. Then we have small a. Small a is also a regular expression, where this small a is nothing but, so input symbol, okay, is also the regular expression. And then number 4 is, now if you are having two regular expression r and s, r comma s, let we have two regular expression r and s. R and s are two regular expressions. Then so their union in the sense r plus s, their union r plus s is also a regular expression. Okay, in the same manner the concatenation r into s is also a regular expression. And then we have clean closure. What is that? R star, or you can also take S star, is also a regular expression. Then we have one more thing, which is nothing but anything which you write within parenthesis. Anything which you write within parenthesis. Okay, so this is also a regular expression. Is also a regular expression. And then whatever the expression that we are going to generate with the help of the step 4 and 5. So the expression generated using step 4 and 5. Step 4 and 5 is also a regular expression. Okay, now see why I am discussing this is because whenever we take any regular expression, for example, let me write over here, I am taking some regular expression. The regular expression is like this. It is something like a plus b star abb star abb star into a b whole star. AB whole star. Now if you observe thoroughly over here, now we have union operation applied over here. This is a regular expression, and then for this union we have used the parenthesis. And on top of that, we are having star in the sense now we have applied the clean closure for this operation. Okay. In the same manner, we have small a concatenated with the b, small b. Now this small a, small b has been again concatenated with the b star, which is a clean closure. And again, if you observe, we have a concatenated result AB, which is whole star, means which is again the clean closure. Now, what you are able to observe over here is whatever we are having in step 4 and step 5, by combining all these things, now if you are able to generate a new expression in the sense, this is also going to be called like a regular expression. Okay. Now, why we are discussing about all these things in the sense, now, if you are able to know how to construct the finite automata when we have a concatenation operation, when we have a union operation, when we have a clean closure operation, then it becomes very easy for us to construct the finite automata. Okay. Now, that is what we are going to do right now. Okay. So, first what we do, we try to start with the first operation, which is nothing but phi. Okay, so the first one, which is nothing but phi. So phi represents what? So phi represents the empty language. Empty language. Empty language in the sense, the language is not going to consist of anything. Okay, empty language in the sense, the language is not going to consist of anything. That is what the empty language is. Now, whenever you have the empty language kind of thing, then how this finite automata will look like? The finite automata of the phi will be like this. So you have initial state and you have a final state. We have an initial state and we are going to have a final state like this. So something is happening. So initial state and final state. So I don't know why it is not getting visible over here. And this is going to be our initial state. This is going to be our initial state. And you don't have any connection in between. You don't have any connection in between. Okay. So this is how we are going to represent phi. So the regular expression called phi. This is how we are going to represent. That is the first one. And then we have the second one, which is nothing but empty string. So what is empty string? So empty string is nothing but we have epsilon. Epsilon. So how do you represent a epsilon? So the representation of epsilon is very simple. So again, whenever you have a epsilon, the simple thing what you have to do is take some initial state and take some final state. Okay, so initial state, final state. Okay, then we need to represent some relationship like this. Okay, from here to here, we will be having some relationship. So this is my final state. This is my final state. Okay, and on top of this, we will be having some epsilon transition. We will be having some epsilon transition. Okay, now this finite automata can be again simplified and we can construct a minimized finite automata like this. So the minimized finite automata will be like this. This is what the minimized finite automata is. That is, the initial state itself is going to act like a final state. Okay, so please remember that. So whenever we have a finite automata, so where the initial state itself is acting like a final state in the sense, the least string which it is going to accept will be epsilon. Okay, so this is how you need to construct the finite automata for empty string. This is our second scenario. Then go for third case. What is our third case? Third case is nothing but when we have some regular expression called small a. That's it. Okay, small a or 0 or 1 or b, something like that, any one symbol. When we have some input symbol, A is a regular expression. A is a regular expression. So when we have A like a regular expression, how do you construct the finite automata? So for that, again, we need to have some initial state. We need to have some initial state, and we need to construct some final state. We need to construct some final state. Okay. So this is our initial state and this is our final state, and we need to specify the transitions. As what is the symbol which has been recognized by my finite automata here? Small a. So the finite automata for recognizing small a will be like this. This is what the finite automata which is going to recognize small a, and whose regular expression is small a. Okay, because our regular expression is small a, in the sense when I try to construct the finite automata should be able to recognize only small a. Now if you look into this, this is my initial state, this is my final state, which is recognizing only small a. Okay, so with this we have finished the simple part. Now let's go ahead the next one, which is nothing but the union operations. Union operations. What is the fourth one? Union operation. For example, let R and S, R comma S, be two regular expressions. Two regular expressions. Then R plus S is also a regular expression. Okay, so if R and S are two regular expressions, then their union is also going to be a regular expression. So how do you specify that? Let me tell you. Let us observe that. For example, let us observe that I have two regular expressions. What is that? R, which is going to accept only a string called a small a, and we have S, which is going to accept only small b. Then when I do the union of these two, R plus S, now it is going to return something like A plus B. In the sense, earlier when I write individually, R is a finite automata or a regular expression which is accepting only input symbol A, and S is a regular expression which is accepting only the input symbol B. But when I do the union of these two, R and S, now it will result in a new regular expression which will accept either A or B as input symbols. Now how do we construct this? The idea is very simple. Let me draw that one. So initially we try to construct a small a. So this is my initial state and this is the final state for small a. Okay, this is the initial state and this is the final state for small a. Okay, now this is the finite automata which is recognizing small a. Okay, now this is R. This is R. Okay, then I need to construct for S also. Okay, so S will be like this. So this is my initial state and this is my final state, which is going to recognize this one B. It will recognize B. Okay, this is going to recognize B and this is going to be yes. Now we have individually. Okay, so individually this finite automata is going to recognize this regular expression. That is fine. And this finite automata is going to recognize this regular expression. That is fine. But now what we have to do now? We need to construct a finite automata in such a way that it should recognize this regular expression. What is that? A plus B. Now how do we do that? In order to do that, so the idea is very, very simple. So what is that idea is, now we are going to make use of these two finite automatas as it is. So how we do that? Just observe. So this is my initial state of my first finite automata and this is the final state of my first finite automata. So straight away we are going to write A. And here this is the initial state and this is the final state of my second finite automata. I am going to call it like a B. I am going to call it like B. Now individually they are going to have a final states, that's fine. But when I do the union of these two, now I am going to get a new initial state. Please observe, now when I do the union of these two finite automatas, now I am going to get a new initial state. From this new initial state, now I am going to have the epsilon transitions to the earlier initial states of the finite automatas like this. So we are going to have epsilon transitions like this. And then along with the new initial state, now I am going to have a new final state also, a new final state. Now from the old final states of each and every finite automata, now from them to a new final state, now I am going to have the epsilon transitions. Now epsilon transitions. Okay, now have a look at this. Now go through this finite automata, please. Everybody have a look at this finite automata. If you look at this finite automata, now what this finite automata is doing is, it is going to recognize either A, it is going to recognize either A or B. Now what actually we are looking for, what is the purpose of using this R plus S, which is nothing but A union B, in the sense, now we need to construct a new finite automata which will recognize either A or B. Now this is our finite automata is. Okay, now please remember, the idea is very simple. What actually we are trying to do is, initially we try to construct the automatas individually like this, R and S individually we try to construct, and after that what we are doing is, when we try to do the union of these two automatas, then these two will not remain, I mean the initial states of old automatas and the final states of old automatas were not going to be the initial and final states for a new finite automata after you've done the union. That is the reason why what we do, for that purpose we have introduced a new initial state and we have introduced a new final state. Understood? So this is how we are going to construct the union automata, that is, which is going to recognize either A or B. Okay, then this is the fourth operation. Next, let's go ahead and we try to write for fifth operation, which is nothing but let R and S, let R comma S be, R comma S be two regular expressions, then R into S is also a regular expression. That is, when you take two regular expressions R and S, when you do the concatenation of these two, the result is also the regular expression. Now already I have R as a small a, S as a small b. Then what I try to do is, now I try to write R into S, R into S. What is the result here? AB. The result is A into B. Now how do you construct this? Now already we have this one, small a is there, small b is also there. Now in such cases what we have to do is, this is what we need to do. Okay, so first we need to write the finite automata, which is nothing but this one, which is going to recognize the small a. So this is the finite automata which is going to recognize small a, okay. So this is the finite automata which is recognizing small a, and this is the finite automata, which is recognizing small b, okay, small b. Now what we have to do here is, now we need to combine, or we need to concatenate these two individual finite automatas in such a way that, so it should accept A into B, that is A followed by B. Now how do we do that? The idea is very, very simple. Please observe that as we are trying to concatenate A with B, now whatever the final state of A is there, now it is no longer going to be a final state. Please try to understand, whatever the final state of A is there, it is no longer it is going to be a final state. Now it will become a normal state. From this non-final state to the initial state of B, now we are going to specify a epsilon transition. That's it. Please have a look at this. So earlier what we have done is, again I am going to repeat, earlier what we did is, so individually these are the finite automatas. So individually this is a finite automata for R and this is the finite automata for S individually. Now what we need to do is we need to construct a finite automata for R into S, that is R concatenated with S. Now what we have to do is, so please remember that, so what is the final state in A? The final state in A is this one. Now this final state is no longer going to be a final state. Understood? Now what it will become? It is going to become a non-final state. From this non-final state to the initial state of second finite automata, now we need to specify the epsilon transition. Now once you specify the epsilon transition, now have a look at this. Now what is the input string which is going to be accepted by this finite automata? So small a epsilon b, that is a into epsilon into b, which is nothing but now it is going to accept the finite automata which is going to accept the string called AB, that is A concatenated with B. Okay, so please try to understand when you do the concatenation. Okay, so whatever the final state available in the first finite automata, it is no longer going to remain like a final state. It is going to become a non-final state. From that non-final state to the initial state of the second finite automata, we need to specify the epsilon transition. Okay, once you specify the epsilon transition, then you can get a new finite automata which is going to recognize the concatenation result, something like R into S. Have a look at this. Now this finite automata is going to recognize the string A into B or not. Now you can see here small a epsilon small b. Now it is going to recognize. Okay, so this is how we are going to construct a finite automata when we have a concatenation operation. Then the last operation, which is nothing but clean closure. Clean closure, that is, let R be a regular expression. Let R be a regular expression. Then R star is also a regular expression. R star is also going to be a regular expression. Okay. Now you observe whenever you take R star, now what is the least string which is going to be accepted? For example, let R will be A. Then what about R star? R star will be A star. A star in the sense the least string which it is going to accept will be epsilon. Then it is going to recognize A, then AA, and so on and so on. In the sense the least string which my which my finite automata should accept is epsilon, then it has to accept A, AA, AAA. Okay, now that is the reason why, have a look at this, pay attention over here, this is very important. Now what we are trying to do is we are trying to construct some finite automata like this. Okay, so this is my initial state, and this is my final state. This is my final state. Okay, as my finite automata should recognize string which is epsilon, so hence I am going to have an epsilon transition like this. I am going to have a epsilon transition like this. Okay, then not only epsilon it has to accept small a, double A, triple A. That is the reason why what we are doing is we are going to introduce some intermediate states like this. Some intermediate states like this. Now here it will be something like small a. It will be small a. Now please observe, see here we don't have any transitions from initial state to this state, from there to final state. Now as we don't have any transitions, now what we have to do, now we need to introduce the transitions from here to here but without reading any input symbol. When we don't read any input symbol in the sense, now it will be epsilon. Now it will be epsilon. Now have a look at this. Now my finite automata is going to recognize two things. What are the two things? First, if you go through this path, the epsilon will be recognized. So this one will be recognized. Okay. Then if I go through this path, then what is going to happen? Small a is also going to be recognized. Yes, small a is also recognized. But then what has to be happened? Double A has to be recognized, triple A has to be recognized, 4A's has to be recognized. Means some looping has to happen. Now in order to get that looping part, now what I am doing is from this state to this state, now what I am doing, I am going to introduce some epsilon transition. Now please check whether WA is accepted or not. So first we will get epsilon, small a, epsilon, small a, epsilon. In the sense, now AA is accepted or not, AAA will be accepted or not, 4S will be accepted or not, 5S will be accepted or not. Yes. So like this, what we are doing, we are going to construct the corresponding finite automata for this clean closure operation. Okay. So this is the equivalent finite automata for the clean closure operation. Understood? So have a look at this. So these are the various things which you have to remember. What is the first one? We are doing the union. When you do the union, what we have to do? We need to introduce a new initial state and the new final state. From the new initial state, we need to specify the epsilon transitions to older initial states. In the same manner, from the old final states to the new final states, now we need to specify the epsilon transition. This is what the union is. Then when you get the concatenation operation from the first final state, now you need to make it like a non-final state. From that non-final state to the second finite automata initial state, we need to specify the epsilon transition. If you do that, then it will be resulting in the concatenation operation. Then when you go for clean closure operation, first you need to remember that first epsilon has to be accepted. That is the reason why we need to specify one path for a epsilon. Then the second one, what we are doing is, so we need to accept some n number of times some string has to be repeated. That is the reason why we are going to make use of this finite automata for recognizing the clean closure operation. Okay, so this is how we are going to make use of or we are going to construct the finite automatas for the given regular expression. Now by combining all these things, now what we do, we try to find out the finite automata for the given regular expression now. Okay, now let's take one small example. Let's take some small regular expression. Let me copy that regular expression. Okay, let us take some regular expression. This one, we try to construct the finite automata for this. Let us take this regular expression. Now what we do, we try to convert this regular expression into the corresponding finite automata. Now when we have a regular expression like this, what we have to do is we need to break it into smaller pieces. Now something like you can divide this something like this. Let us take, we can divide this in different ways. For example, first you can construct 0 plus 1 whole star, and then we have 1 into 0 plus 1. This is what we have a regular expression. Now if you observe thoroughly, so you can easily understand that first we need to do the union of these two, 0 and 1. For this 0 and 1, we need to do the union, and then for this what we have to do, we need to find out the clean closure. We need to find out the clean closure. Once you find out the clean closure of this 0 plus 1, then it has to be concatenated with 1. Then whatever the result which we got by doing the concatenation, then this entire result has to be concatenated with 0 plus 1. So what we try to do is, initially we try to construct 0 plus 1. That is our first step. First we try to construct 0 plus 1. Okay, then the second one what we try to do is, we try to construct 0 plus 1 whole star. Then the third one is, we try to construct 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. Okay, as a fourth step, we try to construct 0 plus 1 whole star 1 into 0 plus 1, because we already have this one, you can see here. So from the previous steps, we are able to get the result of a left hand side part. If you observe thoroughly, from the previous steps, we are able to get the result of the left hand side part. You can see here. So if you complete the first step, then it will be helpful in completing the second step successfully. If you complete the second step, it will be helpful for us in completing the third step, this part. No need to draw again. If you complete the third step, it will be helpful for us in completing the fourth step. Okay, now we try to do step by step. What is our step 1? We need to construct 0 plus 1. Now if you observe thoroughly, this 0 plus 1 will be having two input symbols, something like A and B. Now how do you construct the finite automata for this? I will write over here. So first I will write for step 1. Step 1, I am going to construct the finite automata for 0 plus 1. So how do we construct the finite automata for 0 plus 1? First, we need to take some initial state, and here this is going to recognize 0, and then we have second step which is going to recognize 1 individually. Now what we have to do now, we need to introduce a new initial state. From this new initial state to the earlier initial states, we need to specify the epsilon transitions. Now I am going to specify the epsilon transitions. Okay, and here as we are doing a union over here, now we will be getting a new final state. So from this final state, again we will be getting a epsilon transitions like this. Okay, so with this, what we have done so far, we have successfully completed our first step. What is that? We have constructed the finite automata for a 0 plus 1. Okay, then now what is the next thing we have to do? We need to construct the step 2. What is our step 2? Step 2 says we need to construct 0 plus 1 whole star. 0 plus 1 whole star. Now where we have 0 plus 1? Already we have 0 plus 1 over here. You please observe, we have 0 plus 1 over here. Yes or no? Now the same thing we need to copy. So let me copy this. Copy, paste. Now I have copied this entire thing. Okay. Now when I go for this one, as I am taking 0 plus 1 whole star, now this is not going to be no longer, this is going to be a final state. No longer this is going to be a final state. Okay. Now what is going to happen over here? So here we will be getting a new initial state. Here we will be getting a new initial state with epsilon transition, and here we will be getting a new final state with epsilon transition. What is the reason why we are introducing a new initial state and final state? The reason for that is, when I say 0 plus 1 whole star, in the sense it has to accept epsilon. That is the reason why from this initial state to this final state, we will be having some epsilon transition. Now please observe, now we will be having some epsilon transition first, okay? Then the next thing what has to be happened is, the next thing which has to be happened is, now this sequence of zeros and ones has to come, okay? Now how do we get the sequence of zeros and ones? In the sense, now this is going to be our initial state and this is going to be our final state, right? Now from here to here, from here to here, we will be getting a looping step, which is nothing but epsilon. Please try to understand. Okay, now what we have done is, so this is our 0 plus 1. Now for this 0 plus 1, now I need to make it like a 0 plus 1 whole star. Now if I want to make it like a 0 plus 1 whole star, in the sense, now what I have to do, I need to introduce a new initial state and I need to introduce a new final state. Then from this new initial state to earlier initial state, I need to specify epsilon transition. And then from the old final state to the new final state, again I need to specify the epsilon transition. Okay, now please observe over here. Then as I need to support the looping over here, that is the reason why now I am going to make use of the epsilon transition like this. Okay, so this is going to be the 0 plus 1 whole star. The next thing what we have to do is, now we need to construct 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. So now what is our step now? Step 3. Now the step 3 will be 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. So already we have 0 plus 1 whole star. Where we have 0 plus 1 whole star? Please observe. So here we have 0 plus 1 whole star. Let me copy this. We have 0 plus 1 whole star already available. So this is our 0 plus 1 whole star. Okay, so here we need to have the epsilon transition. Yes, we have a epsilon transition. Okay, this is 0 plus 1 whole star. Now for this 0 plus 1 whole star, now what has to be done? It has to be concatenated with 1. It has to be concatenated with 1. So when you do the concatenation with 1, now what is going to happen? Now you will get a new state which will recognize 1. You will get a new transition diagram like this, which is going to recognize 1. Please observe. Now this is going to be your R, regular expression R, and this is your regular expression S. Now when you want to do the concatenation, in the sense, what you have to do now, whatever the first regular expression final state is there, this is going to be no longer a final state. This is no longer a final state. Just make it a non-final state, and then from that state to the initial state of a second finite automata, we need to specify the epsilon transition. Now what it will become? Now it will become 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. Okay, 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. So this is going to be our third step. Now what is our step 4? So our step 4 will be like this. Okay, so what is our step 4? Step 4 will be 0 plus 1 whole star into 1 into 0 plus 1. Now already we have this part. What is that part? We have 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. Where it is available? It is already available in this part. Okay. Now I am going to take this entire expression, I mean entire finite automata. So I am going to take this entire finite automata. So copy it, and then paste it. So this is going to be your 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. Okay, so this is your 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. Okay, so up to this we have constructed 0 plus 1 whole star into 1. So this is regular expression R. This is R. Now I think we have already constructed for 0 plus 1 also. Now this is going to be our 0 plus 1. Now I am going to copy this. So Control C, Control V. So this is going to be our S. So this is our S. R and S. Regular expression R, regular expression S. Now what we have to do now, as we are doing the concatenation, what is the final state of our R expression? This is the final state. Now this final state is no longer going to remain like a final state. So now just remove this like a final state, and then from this state to the initial state of expression S, we need to specify the epsilon transition. Now what is the result we'll get now? So 0 plus 1 whole star 1 into 0 plus 1, which is nothing but this one. Okay, so is this the expression that we are looking for? You can see here 0 plus 1 whole star 1 into 0 plus 1. Now have a look at this. So this is what the corresponding finite automata, which is nothing but NFA epsilon for the given regular expression. Okay, so this is how you need to construct the finite automata for the given regular expression. Understood? See, you can see here. So what I did is I have followed the divide and conquer strategy. See, as it is very difficult for me to construct the finite automata for the big regular expression, that is the reason why what I did, I have broken it into smaller pieces. First what I did, I have constructed the finite automata for 0 plus 1 like this. Then I have taken the clean closure 0 plus 1 whole star. Then whatever the result I got 0 plus 1 whole star, then I concatenated it with 1. Now I have got it 1. Then whatever the result I got for 0 plus 1 whole star into 1, again it has been concatenated with 0 plus 1. Once you do that, now this is what the result you are going to get. Okay, so this is how you need to construct the finite automata, which is nothing but NFA epsilon for the given regular expression. So let me take you back to my word screen over here. Now you can see here whatever I have told you. So this is what your diagram looks like. So if you take the regular expression as a phi, the finite automata will look like this. So this is initial state and this is the final state. And if you take the regular expression epsilon, then the finite automata will be like this. So this is the initial state and this is the final state, and you will be having some epsilon transition. And if you are having some input symbol A, then the finite automata will be like this. Initial state and final state. This finite automata is recognizing only the input symbol small a. And when I go for next one, you can see here. So we have R. R is a regular expression. S is a regular expression. These two are two different finite automatas, which is individually recognizing R and S. But when I do the union of these two, R and S, now I want to recognize this union. For that purpose, what I did, I have introduced a new initial state. We introduce a new final state. Then from the new initial states to old initial states of the final automatas, we have specified the epsilon transitions. Then from the old final states of individual finite automatas to new final state, we have specified the epsilon transitions. So this is the union operation. Then when we try to perform the concatenation operation, you can see here R is a separate finite automata, S is a separate finite automata. Now I need to do the concatenation. When we want to do the concatenation, the idea is very simple. So just make a final state of your first finite automata as a non-final. From that non-final state to initial state of your second finite automata, we need to specify the epsilon transition. Once you do that, then automatically the result which we are going to get, it will be something like a concatenation operation. Then we have a clean closure operation, which is nothing but R star. You can see here, so this is my initial state, this is my final state. So it has to accept the epsilon. That is the reason why from this initial state to the final state, we have a epsilon transition over here. Okay. Then as it has to accept at least for 1 time or 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. That is the reason why we have a looping part on epsilon transition. Okay, now by using these basic diagrams only, see the basic these 6 automatas only, so we are going to construct the finite automata, which is more specifically NFA epsilon for the given regular expression. Okay, so what I want you to do is, so you people please take this regular expressions. So you have 3 regular expressions. Just have a look at this and just to take down these 3 regular expressions, and you try to construct a finite automata for these regular expressions. Okay,